Hi, I'm Cara Fraser. Welcome to today's class, which is a restorative practice, and that may be new for some of you. So just to give you a little explanation about a restorative class, it is prop intensive. So you'll need a bolster or some folded up blankets or towels and maybe some blocks. But if you don't have all the official yoga props, you can use the towels and the blankets to help support yourself. In a typical class, you might do something like a wide leg forward fold like this. And instead of having any props, you're getting a really extreme stretch, usually working towards the floor. But in a restorative practice, we use props to build the floor up to us. So we might use a bolster and lean over on the bolster for support. And so what I like about it is it gives you a really gentle stretch, which is nice. And we hold poses for longer than we would in a typical class. So it could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And as you sit there, you start to feel a little more release and a little more stretch, which is nice. The other great thing about a restorative practice is it's great for the nervous system. And I'll talk a little bit more about that as we go through the class. But it is a nice way to restore the body physically. And for me, I feel like I get a massage afterwards. You know, that nice limp noodle feeling, that's how I feel after a restorative practice. So it's really nice, but it is hard for a lot of people to sit still for such an extended period of time. So I encourage you to give it a shot and see if you like it. And if it's hard for you the first time, maybe you try it again and see if it's easier as you practice being still. So the first thing we'll do is a supported child's pose. So if you have the bolster, you'll bring the bolster between the knees. If you don't have a bolster, this is where you might fold up blankets and just fold them up enough so you can lay forward comfortably on the blankets. I like to put a blanket also across the top here, so it's like a little pillow. So you'll just rest your torso down. You can start with one cheek on the bolster or blanket. Arms can just rest on the mat. And about halfway through, I'll let you know, and you can turn your head just so your neck feels nice and even. And just allow yourself to start to relax here. There's really no right or wrong positioning in a restorative practice. As long as you're comfortable and supported, you just kind of go where your body wants to go. And as you sit here, just start to notice your breath. Maybe starting to allow it to relax. And as the breath relaxes, the body follows suit. And I didn't mention this, but I will not talk as much as I would in a typical flow class. I think it's important to have some time to be silent and still. So when it's time to come out or to move from a pose, I'll let you know. And until then, just allow yourself to relax. And turn your head to the other side. Take a deep inhale. And exhale, let it out. And then slowly walk the hands back to the knees, lift the chest up off the bolster, come back to sitting on the heels. And setting up for the next posture, which actually the setup with the bolster and the blanket is the same. Bring your right hip next to the bolster and bend the knees, stack the legs. Couple choices here on what you can do. You can take a little twist here. So you'll twist and bring the torso flat. But some people find that to be a little too much. So if you don't like the torso flat with that twist, you can just bring the right side to the bolster. So again, just finding a place that feels good for you. And the other thing is where you turn your head. So if the right cheek is on the mat, it's less intense. If the left cheek is on the mat, it's more intense. You're getting a little more of a twist. So you can play with it. You can decide what you like. And then arms can just rest again on the mat. And if you like, maybe you straighten one leg or bring it forward again. There's no right or wrong, just where you feel good. And here in this pose, I want to just talk a little bit about the physical benefits of a restorative practice. So we've all heard of the flight or fight response. We're being chased, our heart starts to pump, and you can just feel it physically in your body. And the opposite to that is the relaxation response. And it's really good for our body. It's been shown to reduce cortisol, which is caused by stress. It's been shown to reduce inflammation in the body, and many, many other things. So although it just feels like you're just sitting here, maybe you feel like you're napping, it really has good restorative benefits to the body. And if you find it's difficult to be still here, just notice your breath. Keep your attention on your breath. Take a deep inhale. Exhale it out. And then slowly lift yourself up off the bolster. Just roll over to the other side. And then make your way back down. Again, playing with the head if you need to. Deepen your breath here. And slowly and gently press your torso off the bolster. And then again, you can just leave the bolster where it is. It's actually a nice setup today because you're not really moving your bolster at all. If you have blocks or some additional towels or blankets, I can't talk, you can use those for this next pose. It's Baddha Konasana. So you bring the soles of the feet together, knees splay out, and then you'll just be a couple inches away from the bolster here. And then you're just gonna lay back. So again, that blanket can act as a support pillow underneath the head. Arms can rest by the sides or palms on the belly. The blocks can be used under the knees. I like this because I'm pretty flexible after a while. It starts to feel a little uncomfortable on my low back as my hips start to open up. So sometimes I find this is nice. So if you don't like it in the beginning, you might want to have them just nearby, just in case. And then just lean back. If this is too intense, you feel like to get all the way back to the bolster, you could prop this bolster up, put a block or a blanket under there, and sometimes that feels a little better for people. So you could try that as well. Again, just allow your body to be still. If you find it's hard to not let your mind just go crazy and to feel stressed about things going on in your life, just come back to the breath. Just notice how it feels moving in and out of the body. start to deepen your breath. And just draw the knees together. Bring the soles of the feet to the mat. Feet about hips distance apart. And just pause here. And then being mindful of the block that's to your right, just roll yourself gently off the bolster and press yourself up to seated. And just setting up for final Savasana here. So since we have props, you might like to use them. You don't have to, you could always just lay flat on the mat. But since we have them, you could take a bolster under the knees and then use your blanket as a pillow here. Sometimes that feels nice. And in this final posture, just allow yourself to completely let go. Let go of any tension you have in your body. Let the muscles relax. Let your mind relax. Start to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Circle the ankles and wrists. Reach the arms up overhead, stretch from fingers to toes. And roll off to your right side. Pause there. And then press yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Eyes closed, hands at heart center. And bow your head in gratitude for just taking this time to allow yourself to relax. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.